honored incidents happen. So that's not very many. And the reason that it was probably on 100 is because the phenomena never duplicated itself. It was always different. I mean, as bizarre as, what was the really crazy thing that happened there? They had hidden cameras on top of the telephone poles on the ranch, a Skinwalker Ranch, and they had to bevy up some wire and cord and electrical apparatuses to the cameras there. And one day they go out to check the cameras because they're not working, and the wires were all stripped out. In fact, the electrical tape around the wires that were grouped together was unwound and unspooled, and the wire coating, the rubber coating around the wires, was flanged down as though something had went up without a ladder, up a telephone pole, taken the time to unspool all the electrical tape neatly and then strip the wire out and unplug it. How could you predict something like that? But, that was how they had to deal with the ranch there. This is why Harry Reid funneled the money to Bigelow. Those two are friends. And so when Harry Reid had an opportunity to get allocated government funds sent to Bigelow to study this ranch, everybody heard $22 million right out of the gate going towards the defense organization about this aerial threat phenomena. Well, they never said that. We just assumed that because of the gun cam footage that was released out of the New York Times with Luis Elizondo. But that money went towards studying things like Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's your transparency. There's your cover up. There's the evidence right there.
Well,
and it was on the cover of New York Times.
Yeah, but you have to look at it this way. If the government actually admitted, hey, we do have proof, and I know they do have proof that there's Bigfoot. And, the same way I know that they know that we are, about UFOs. We have to be really stupid to realize we're the only existence of humanoid out there of all those planets and stars, and they go on forever and ever and ever. Okay, you know what? It's the same way. It's a cover-up. The same way they cover up the UFO thing. They debunk it because I don't think they will feel that most of the public out there would if they admitted there were such things as Bigfoot, right? Then they're opening up the whole thing as well. Then if there's Bigfoot, then there has to be UFOs, and then they have to start admitting all this stuff, which, let's face it, Germany, World War II, was probably one of the best ever with propaganda.
Right.
Face it, Germans, they thought they were winning the war till it was almost over. Okay, well,
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then you sit here and you think about us. If after all these years of saying, oh, there's no such thing as UFOs, there's no such thing as Bigfoot, if they came out tomorrow and said there was UFOs and Bigfoot, then who would trust the government again ever after that?
Well, maybe it won't be us, because some of these other countries like Chile, they have whole departments associated with studying this phenomena.
Oh, yeah.
The Chinese, the Russians, Rendlesham Forest, if they're experiencing, Yeti phenomena or urine phenomena, the idea that another country could beat us to it, it's almost like the moon race in a lot of ways. Who's going to make these great discoveries happen and known, and for what reason, and how would you manipulate it and use these to your end? Dr. Stephen Greer talks a lot about there being a mass sighting eventually happening, a global UFO sighting that is a masquerade or a facade by the global elite to elicit some kind of government lockdown or takeover. Basically government manipulation, right? So maybe something like that could happen with the Sasquatch phenomena. But if you're a religious person, you could go that route too and talk about the fact that the giants were seen post Genesis flood. So if you're going to understand this phenomena from one perspective, it would behoove you to understand it from several different ideas. And just put them in your little bag of tricks along the way to kind of, prepare yourself for different hypotheses of how this could all turn out.
Well, yeah, it's so true. And one thing, I do have a guest coming up July 10th, Steve Bassett. And,
Oh, good.
I'm hoping that he can, educate all of us what's going on, also with the UFO and everything else out there. Because, I mean, he's really into this. So, I mean, all I know is that, boy, this time is almost gone. It went by really fast. You're a great guest. So again, why don't you plug your YouTube channel, your website,
Oh, yeah.
and we got like 2 or 3 minutes left. Plug your event coming up.
Well, thanks again, Gary, for having me on here. It's always nice to talk to someone who's knowledgeable and interested and experienced, and a witness. But I mentioned, and I'll mention again, SttangsBrau, BRAU.com. It's also a Facebook site under the same name. And then we have a YouTube channel associated with it as well. And you can get in touch with me via SttangsBrau at gmail.com, or come see us sometime. We're there every last Sunday from 2 to 5. The next one is on the Montauk or Plum Island or Camp Hero incident, Montauk Chronicles in particular. So that will be June 24th, and we'll be there utilizing Zoom, like I hope Gary does. And the idea behind employing this better technology is to be able eventually to have witnesses stream real time with a live guest speaker from anywhere around the world, and record this for a membership program in 2019 associated with a podcast that's under the same name. So what turns out to be one day a month for 3 hours hopefully will be a once or twice a week thing via an audio format, and then have this monthly thing to be a little kicker. So stay tuned for greater things. And then of course the Sierra Nevada experience with Ron Moorhead. I only have 11 tickets left for the actual experience. That's on sale on SttangsBrau.com, and you can look that up and get a ticket. And then the conference on the 30th of September will be open up to the public, and I'll release tickets on Independence Day.
Okay. Well, guys, it's only 11 tickets, so I mean, if you're interested, you need to get a hold of them, so you can attend. Hey, it's been really great having you on the show, and I'm going to offer, if you want to come back in a couple months, we can go into more things and talk about some of more things that you discover.
Okay, great. Thanks for having me on, Gary.
Okay, well, you have a great weekend that's coming up.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Okay, bye. So, what can I say? Bigfoot, are they real? I honestly feel after running across one, unless there's somebody who can weigh, well over 500 pounds, 800-pound range, and run on 2 and 4s, well, then, all the power to them. But I don't think they were going to be out, 2 miles out in the woods. But, I'm telling you right now, if you run across a Bigfoot, you got a gun. If it was me, I wouldn't point that gun anything at that Bigfoot, because I think if you show aggression, it's going to give you aggression in return. Seriously. I mean, virtually all the cases of people that claim that they were either assaulted or chased or whatever by a Bigfoot, it's always been where they also showed aggression towards the Bigfoot. So anyway, boy, this day just went by night just went by so fast. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about, I have Dr. Lears, one of his patients, the alien implant doctor would remove the implants. We have one of his patients is going to be on our show for the first 2 hours from 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific time. And then the last hour I had Liz, who used to be, a sheriff's deputy in her community. We're going to be talking, about her book, about Bigfoot, all that stuff. Bigfoot, are they real? Well, you know what? You can have your own decision. But when you run across one, then that's where you have to make a decision what in the heck did I just see? So anyway, hey, I want to thank you guys. Tell your friends about Night Dreams Talk Radio. And you know what? Share it on your Facebook and all your media. We're getting a huge audience. I'm hoping to get this phone situation taken care of. I just noticed after Michael called up and asked a couple questions, after he went off, now it shows I've missed 21 phone calls in the last hour. I don't know what's going on. It's so frustrating. And I had an engineer out here spend the whole day going over everything and telling me, oh, it's normal. I got a funny feeling was when you use Skype ID and then you get phone calls, it confuses it for some reason. Yeah, I noticed like the other day when we were doing all this tests with the engineer, if I just use phone numbers and not use any Skype IDs, I could take 2-3 phone calls, hang up on each one. Everything was working fine. But tonight we used the Skype ID route versus the phone number for the guest. And then that's where I got the one call and then boom, it's locked up. Anyway, everybody, I want you to have a great evening. Stay out of trouble. And, well, hope you can sleep tonight after all these talks about Bigfoot. Hey, this is Gary from Night Dreams Talk Radio. I want to welcome a new sponsor to our show, PhoenixShaving.com. I know what you're thinking, right? Oh, another disposable razor company. Well, the fact is they're not. You remember the razors that your father and his father shaved with? Did you ever notice they didn't have, well, the embarrassing razor burn or ingrown hairs or the razor bumps after they shaved? Did you notice they were also relaxed after they were done shaving? Well, the problem is these big corporations want to sell you razor after razor after razor. Think about how much money you spend a year on razors. Or do you use electric razor? Then you're going to find out what razor burn is. So you need to check out Phoenix Shaving Starter Kits. They come complete with the soap, the brush, and a 2.5-month supply of blades, and the most important part of it, a all-metal razor, built to last generations. So, hey, you can donate it to one of your sons when they turn 18. Check out PhoenixShaving.com and tell them that Gary from Night Dream said, hey, I want one. That's PhoenixShaving.com now.
Was a man who had some land in eastern Washington, and on his land this man he had a deep dark hole upon. People came from miles around to throw their trash down in to see how deep the hole was and listen for its end.
You're listening to Night Dreams Radio with Gary Anderson.
Check out Night Dreams website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com.